So one problem that people have with academic writing is knowing where to start, and people often get around this by just writing whatever comes to mind, writing as fast as they can. But there are some simple tricks which apply to pretty much any project, which can help you to decide where to start and also how to structure the information that you're presenting. So for almost any project, what you can do is think of two things: a situation and then a problem that arises from that situation. So let's say, for example, I'm doing research on mental health among PhD students. So I can say a situation, which is the number of PhD students worldwide is growing. And then I can give some statistics to back that up. And then you can say, however, alongside that growth, there's also a growing number of PhD students who are experiencing mental health issues or stress. And there's been some research which has backed that up as well. So you have a situation and then a problem. Then you can have a question that is related to that problem. Okay, so this situation and the problem, it raises the question, why is it that PhD students have this higher proportion of mental health issues? Okay, so situation, problem, question. This applies to pretty much any project, and if you structure an introduction that way, it's a very quick way of leading the reader into the particular topic that you're looking at. So that's quite general. So you start with a big context and then the overall research question. But then you can do the same thing with a literature review. So you can say, for example, over the last 20 years, there's been increasing interest within the field in this particular problem. So that sets up a context, right? It's a situation. It is what has been happening in the field. Then you can say, well, the first person to address this was, and then that fits into this context, and then you say what happens as a response to that. So the structure of an overall thesis is you have kind of a situation and a problem that your research is going to address, and then you have some process for answering that, so your methodology and your results, and then you end up with new problems or new questions that arise as a result of your research. So you have a problem, then a partial solution, and then new problems. That's the overall structure, more or less. On a smaller scale, individual chapters and individual sections have the same structure. It's just a smaller problem or question that you're addressing. More specific. So you have the same structure on different scales, essentially. And if you can start to think that way, it becomes so much easier to structure the writing. And even a first draft can be very, very easy to read instead of it just being this kind of stream of consciousness. So if you've got some information that you can't fit into a context, if you can't relate it to an interesting problem or question, then it's probably best to leave it out.